Okay. Let's see. Let me get this up here real quick. Okay. We're going to be starting up in a minute here. Just grabbing a phone charger. What's up, Ren? How are you? Alright. May need to change my music, I think. Time for a little bit of a change, I think. Could turn this off, I guess. I'll just go right to live scene here. Okay. Beautiful. Bring up Nexus. So you guys probably saw from earlier, I wasn't 100% happy with the LODs. So we're going to change them. Just check to see. Rooster. Nice. All right. Okay, what are we doing? Yeah, changing up my load order. A little bit, not a lot. So we're gonna use the same one that we've been running. This is gonna be for my Lich build for the coming character. Graphically, certain things look good to me, other things didn't. I'm really happy, obviously, with the weather and the lighting. The lighting looked fantastic. ELFX is still by far the best lighting mod for me personally. Weather was Cathedral with semi-real CMB. That is going to stay. When I did the when I had the idea to do the Dwemer, I swapped over to NAT weathers and re-engaged DMB, which looked okay. Lighting was a little odd. I think it was my placement of NAT itself. It says it's compatible above or below ELFX. I had it above because I wanted ELFX's lighting to shine through over that. Obviously, NAT would still continue to do the weather. And while the game and everything looked great, the character so much wasn't. The character physically looked good. I was really happy with the character setup. So much, in fact, that I actually saved his preset. Let me see. Where is he? Lesser textures. I can also thank Rooster for the for finally getting me to use the bookmarks. They are definitely coming in handy. This race menu preset. Let me rename this real quick. This is Dwemer preset. Okay. It's not activated, obviously. My Necro preset right here. This is the one we're going to keep. We're going to keep this one. Let's see. So what I'm happy with here was the close terrain. We're going to look at landscape for the most part. I think that's what changed the most. Grass and landscape. Okay. So you could say I went to Cathedral Weathers and Seasons. I have Ethereal Clouds. Obviously, I always run this. I always run the 8K night sky. I don't know if it's included within Cathedral itself, because there are different options for the night sky. I just have this overriding it to get the lore blue effect that I like, the 4K. It's not 8K, it's the 4K version of it. To show you what I'm talking about here, we'll go visit its Nexus page real quick. I always run this, like I said, I don't know if it's included with the night as on a like a base level, but you can see up top here in the images. Um, this is the 8K blue. I don't use anything 8K. Natural fantasy. This one does look nice. High realism, milky realism. Blue lore. This is the one that I use, and I use the 4K version of it. I don't think the sky really needs to be any more than 4K, but this blue lore, like it's drawn me in since I've seen it. Um, Obviously, the user approved images are down here. Um, Especially these right here, these particular skies. So I don't know what the users are running. This looks fantastic. This looks absolutely gorgeous. So, these are user images. These aren't mine. Okay. These skies look beautiful, and I know there's guys like Rooster and obviously John Rose, probably Master Zero, and a few others can replicate this probably better than I can. I stick with the 4K, so we're going to keep that in. Let me close this down. We're going to look at grass and landscape, this category right here, and then city overhaul. We're gonna take a look at this, and also farmhouse textures. White dragon mods are here. Ignore that. This is where I put them in my setup. Um, so if you guys had seen between the Dwemer and the one that I streamed earlier today, obviously you know that I'm happy with some things, I'm not happy with others. We're gonna go back. We're gonna apply Cathedral with semi-realist C&B, which is what I have. But we're gonna change this. I'm still running John's Granite Mountains. We're gonna do this setup that I have the Percus Maximus Patcher running with. But we're gonna run it with some mods from the old setup because I really like the distant terrain mods more. And I think it was a little simpler to set up. Both had really no impact on performance. My rig handled them both great. I notice and this is probably at best a 2 FPS drop, maybe not even, probably like 1 to 1.5 FPS drop between the all Skyland and what I have here. Skyland Skyland being about 1 to almost 2 FPS lower, which is still 57 for me. So that's great. Um, we're also going to redo the trees. I like Matthew's trees. I find it a little difficult to set up. And then another major thing too, we'll go to the larger textures. Now you'll see I have Noble. I put Noble back in. We're going to change this up. This is Wine Dave's Blended Roads redone. So there's a couple that we're going to take out to change this up. First and foremost with this, TextGen and Dyndelot are going to go. These two down here. You'll see Dyndelot has a master file here. It's also got an ESP file down here. What we're going to do is we are going to disable these two. Dyndelot output is going to get removed. TextGen output is going to get removed. Okay. Then what I do is I refresh Mod Organizer to make sure. And then what I do is I always go in and I check my disk. where I keep my mods for Mod Organizer, just to make sure. Okay, so D for Dindalad. So the resources is fine. This is a separate mod. Dindalad output is not here. Okay, that's what we want. We're good there. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to come back to that. We're going to do two things first. We're going to create both those files again. What I like to do is I like to left click once, right click, create empty mod. We'll name this TextGen output. Hit OK. I'm going to move that right back up under Finis. Activate it. I'm going to go back and do the same thing for Dindalad. Create empty mod. Okay. Put this one right under TextGen output. Activate it. Now, you'll see nothing's been created, but you do see the two red check marks next to it. Okay. So I should have these mods downloaded, I believe, my old setup. I don't think I got rid of them. So if you uninstall but don't delete, they'll show up on the bottom of your mod. See how these from right here, they come up all uninstalled, so you can go back in and get them, so you don't have to reinstall them. Some I may have to. We're going to do them one by one to show you the difference between the setup I did earlier and the setup now. If you have questions on things like the version history, stuff like this, XP32, the newest version is 4.64. Let's actually check that out to see. So this will be, if I type in XPM SE, that's this one here. Open this one in a separate. Requirements, fours, race menu, SK. Yeah, we have all that. 4.65. What am I running? Let's see. 4.63. Which is funny. That would be this one here. Alright. Let's see. I want to make sure this isn't with the updated version. Race menu 7.2. 4s is fine. I know these are good. SKSE offsite requirements. We have that. Let's special edition extended. Yeah, let's download with manager. See what this does. It may say I already have it installed. No, looks like it downloaded it, so it's new. Okay. So XPM is right here. Extended. Let's download its overwrite. So if we want physics extension, race menu, because that's all I have. Race menu includes the MCM. And I choose weapon style randomizer. I choose none. Now you have to read over here what it does. I choose none. I choose none because these are all done right within the mod itself. And these are for pretty combat animations. I don't have pretty combat animations. Magic none, swords on back. This again, pretty combat animations. Right, none for this category. Axe, warning missing sounds, not compatible. Requirements none, not compatible with styles. So I don't choose this. Swords missing sound, choose none here. Again, none. Belt fast and quivers, you can actually select this here if you want the belt fast and quivers mod. This will allow you to go into the MCM to actually use it if you have it checked, or if you don't have it checked, it won't show up. This character is not going to be using bows of any kind, ethereal or normal, so leave that there. Sword with the Gazaro, nothing. Choose nothing. I'm not using the Joy Perspective, and I'm not using Schlongs of Skyrim. I might at some point, because I know a lot of mods actually require this. It's a pretty funny mod, but it's surprising how many other mods require it. Mostly for your body and your appearance stuff. I'm perfectly fine just with Wicco Windsong right now, so I'm going to stick with that. We'll go to next. I don't have Deadly Mutilation. This is not Enderall. And install. I'm going to replace that. So let's see if that 4.63 down here changes to 4.65. It should. It did. Okay. XP32 is updated. Awesome. Uh, Other things. Let's go back down all the way to the bottom. It's going to be tough because I'm going to be going from the bottom to the top by category. And you're going to see me moving a lot of mods. So if stuff like that's boring to you, I'm sorry. What I do usually do is I check my plugins tab. I go from my plugins tab to my downloads tab. I need to keep this under 250 running the patcher. I think I'll actually be down lower than I am now. I think I should be down around the 228 mark. I'm not 100% sure, and I may have to reinstall some patches, which is fine. And then I could actually go in and show you how I swapped from the ESLs to the ESPs. We're going to keep Patches Maximus done for now. If I need to rerun the patcher, I can also show that. Or I could show how to start it, because sometimes it takes longer than 15 minutes to do. And I don't think you guys want to sit here for 15 minutes while that thing's running. I am going to start with my trees. We're going to get my grass and my trees done. So I'm running Vedosprum. I'm going to keep this grass in. I like this grass mod. This is a very full version of it. There is a FOMod installer, and when you guys see this compared to what is available on console, you will probably shit yourselves. 603 megabytes. Okay. So there's options in here. Obviously, you got the summer one as well. Large size mod. We're gonna keep Vedosprum. The 1K brighter green version. I like this. This works with Verdant. It works with Vedosprum. It works with Northern Grass. Probably works with a lot of other ones. As far as I am aware, it is just, yep, it is just textures. Textures, landscape, grass, and the grass files it replaces. So tundra, reach, fall forest, beach, e-grass. I'm not. Normal grasses, maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, we're gonna keep that one. What we're gonna swap out are trees for enhanced vanilla trees. So every tree different. We're going to deactivate this. These are the billboards for Skyrim 3D trees for Matthews. We're going to deactivate this. For his 3D trees and plants patch, this is for interiors, for like your static planters and everything like that, interior plants. That's just an add-on. The 3D Gilder Green, this is actually a main file, so we're going to deactivate that. And we're going to leave up 3D trees and plants. And the reason I do this is so that I can go on my right side and it's highlighted in purple, so I see it's priority 69. So I'm not constantly looking because I don't have separators on this side. But we're going to go back to the downloads. We're going to get enhanced vanilla trees. I should have it here. Enhanced vanilla trees. Okay. I'm just going to visit the Nexus side of this. I just want to make sure. It should be the same mod. I don't think. Yep, it is. There's one file. Requires, mods requiring this file, so it has no requirements. So as you can see, this is 541 megabytes in a FOMod installer. Okay, we're good on this. So we already have it downloaded. I just have to reinstall it. So it's as simple as extracting the files. It's going to go through the installer process. I like the darker meshes. And I'm going to select Lush Large. Sometimes you have to remember these for patches. I don't think I'm going to need them, but I choose the Lush Large option. The Enhanced Tree Clutter, it is recommended. I do take it. Skyrim Flora Overhaul Branches, I believe I take version 2. You could choose, and if you scroll up on each one, you could kind of see the trees change. Vanilla, or you could have none. This is base game vanilla. This is SFO vanilla. I choose version 2. Version 3 also looks nice. These here. So I'll stick version 2. I want the realistic aspens and I want the SFO snowy pine trees. Billboards come with it, so your LODs, right? Um, yeah, you will not receive pre-generated LODs. You will have to generate them yourself. So using this mod, be prepared to use the LOD generator. And then install. It's going to do its thing. It's going to place it right at the bottom. Now, you'll see this. I'll keep Skyrim 3D trees up here for now. It's priority 151. It's just so I use it as a reference so I can go back, take EVT, and we'll go to priority 152. Place it right under it for now. And then I do the same thing in my plugins tab. This is at 69 giggity. Let me activate this. It'll pop up its ESP, and we'll go back up and we'll place it. It's actually going to go right under Vadosprum, so right there. And since that's all of our trees, now we can delete these. We could remove them. So remove this one. Now they'll stay over here in my downloads. If you go to check the bottom for your uninstalled, it should be the top one. Well, it'll be in here somewhere. I think just the main file will, because the main file's got additional, but we don't need the 3D tree billboards. We can remove that. The planters and the gilder green. Remove that. Okay. So that looks good. Both my left and right panes are identical. This is what I'm talking about when I say I do them manually myself. I don't rely on sort or loot just for conflicts, but I never sort them myself. I always do them by myself. The mushroom textures and landscape fixes look good. We do have Skyrim 3D landscapes, however. We're going to remove that, but I'm going to check one thing out first. Go to the Nordic Guide. I always use this as a reference. This or the Ashed. I use these as references. We'll go to vegetation, I believe it is, once this loads up. Music. So you have large textures. We're going to come into this category too at one point. LOD. Survival, weathers. Alright, so vegetation. So you'll notice that the landscape I had here under mountains, right? Right, you go to, this is grasses, right? So you'll see Vadosprum is kind of right in the middle, right? Then your flora mods. So your grass, your tree. Then you see they have Skyrim 3D landscapes underneath this. Okay. However, if you go back up to large scale textures, okay. Now these are the big boys. This is like SRO, enhanced texture detail, SMIM, the original static mesh, right? Ruins clutter. Nobles up here, okay, with the real roads and blended roads. So blended roads is here. Skyland itself is directly under blended roads. It's not lower. Quality landscape, yep, John Rose. Author also has textures from Imperial Forts, towns, villages, blah, 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 blah. Everything, right? So that's basically what we're going to do. That's also how I figured out my map looks so good the other day, and why with this change it's not. I should have Skyland here somewhere. I know I do. I just had it. Landscape overhaul, 1.14 gigabytes. It's a big boy. Right. Just gotta set the data directory. So it looks good. Install. We're gonna come back to this grass and landscape category in a minute. We're gonna go back up top while that's loading. large texture packs. So Blended Roads is here. Now John includes a version of Blended Roads with Skyland. So this Blended Roads are redone. This is Wine Dave. So I'm going to deactivate this. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to keep Blended Roads here. Now my question and my debate is, do I want to run Skyland on top of Noble? Noble for the architecture, but Skyland has architecture too. And I quite liked it. And you guys saw the pictures and the screenshots from yesterday. Those of you that were in the stream saw it live. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get rid of Noble. We're going to go all Skyland. So this is priority 59, so it's going to be 60. Skyland is right here. Bring it all the way up. You can see all the boring work I'm doing. Right under Blended Roads. Activate it. And then you just double check your right pane. It's just textures, it's fine. So let us deactivate Noble. Okay. And then we're going to refresh it real quick and just check what Skyland is overwriting and what's being overwritten by it. So it's overwriting SMIM, and John's Blended Roads are overwriting actual Blended Roads, but Blended Roads themselves are overwriting Static Mesh. It's also being overwritten by Nordic Snow. We're also going to get rid of Nordic Snow. We're going to stick with just John Snow. I'm not going to add a snow mod in. Okay. So there's going to be a couple things we're going to change. It's well, it sounds a little more complicated than it is, but it's really not. Noble Skyrim. Can remove that now. Okay. We're going to go with John's textures. Let me switch over to the live chat here so I can see it. Okay, better. What else? What else? What else? We have SMIM, ETD, RCI, Blended Roads, Skyland. Alright, so let's look at the ruins, caves, mines. Okay, so Underground is by T4G. Those of you that have played on console, you've probably used some of his mods. They have also appeared in some packs. T4G, T4, GTR, 34UM, 3R. T4G. This is an insanely large and insanely amazing pack, which we're going to replace. 1.1 gigabytes with the Whiterun Tower fix. We're going to replace this one. As much as I like it, we're going to use something different. Just to show you, this is what it looks like. Fantastic. Not 100% sure, but I think some of these may be included in the graphics pack. I could be wrong. I don't believe any are standalone. Then again, I could be wrong on that too. We're going to replace all this, all the stonework, all the interior. This is all going to be replaced. Let's close that out. We have right here Skyland, so ruins, caves, and mines. Let's take a look. What else do I have? Skyland here. I should have everything. All right. Skyland Nordic Ruins. Set the data directory. Looks good. Okay. Now we got to figure out what we want to keep from here and what we want to get rid of. Ari Snow Elf Ruins. I like these. I'm going to keep these. We're going to replace Rudy Nordic Ruins with Skylands Ruins. However, I may want to keep, these are specific add-ons for Rudy's Nordic Ruins. They're not all included in the mod. It's one of the downside of using Rudy, but it's very similar to Skyland. And if you guys were ever able to check out the bottom of Rudy's, special thanks to John Rose 81 for permission for his assets. I think I might have showed this before, but if you look closely at Nordic Ruins, and I've said again, the Nordic is probably my favorite It's like neck and neck with John's. You can see similarities in some of the designs. I can. Those of you that are better with textures will definitely see more similarities. Okay. I'm trying to find one that is a little more obvious, but you kind of get the picture, right? With the designs here. John's are a little more pronounced. And I used them on console, and I really like them. So we're going to grab that. So let's go to Ruins, and so Rudy's right here at 70. Skyland's going to come back up. It should be 71. All right, Rudy's right there. Okay, so we can click off Rudy. Now, check the plugins. I believe, nope, it doesn't. Okay, we're good. So Rudy HQ Nordic Ruins, I can now remove that mod. What's up, OCD? What's going on? Doing okay. Changing a couple things in my load order. Finally got Percus Maximus and the Patcher working properly on Special Edition. It has been an ongoing issue for a while. Even to the point of where one of the people that worked on Percus Maximus when porting it over, or maybe one of the creators told me directly in the comment section there that if I, that it's broken, revert to Skyrim redone if you wanted this type of overhaul. And I basically spent all of yesterday, all of last night, and most of this morning without sleep getting it to work, and I got it to work. And it worked well. The mechanics and everything are perfect. So hopefully I could send those guys a message as to how I did it, and those with more knowledge than me can probably figure out an easier way to do it. But it works. As opposed to using like something like Ordinator and throwing a bunch of like I could pretty much take out my combat mods. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing too. I can't even tell you how many tutorial videos I watched, how much research I tried to dig up on this. Was there, like a secret that one person happened to post about, but it never spread around, didn't catch wind from everybody, blow up mainstream, etc., etc. I really could. I found a lot of great tutorial videos, which I still reference, but not anything for the actual issue, which I may have to run at the end again. So, but for right now, we're just going to swap some things over. Skyland Landscape, we're going to keep the HD Lava for Dongar. This is literally in like one place. 3D ice flows, I do like the ice flows here. We're going to keep these. And I think, since they are just meshes, right? They should just be meshes. Let's, well, I could just double click. Right, file tree. Yep, just meshes. Meshes folder. Okay. So we're good. Solstheim Landscape Overhaul. This will show me that it's overwriting Skyland. Yep. Skyland now includes Solstheim. So it's a matter of which one do you want. Now you'll notice if I try to visit this one on Nexus, I can't. Or if I click on 3D Ice Flows, it says visit on Nexus. Solstheim, I can't. It's not up there. It's a hidden mod. So what I do in a case like this, because I have saved mod files. You'll see Solstheim Landscape over. I delete. I'll tell you in a second here. What's up, Bren? We dead. I don't know, maybe just people are watching, paying attention. That's pretty much it. I deleted Skyland itself, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did, because there it's uninstalled. Well, we'll reinstall it. Not a problem. I deleted the wrong one. Oops. That's number 58, so it'll be number 59 when it gets done. Yep. Shit like this happens all the time. To me. Even with the separators. There it is. Back up. You're going to be number 60 now. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Blended roads. Alright, Skyland. Activate Skyland. We want Solstheim Landscape to go. Deactivate this one. Remove this one. Okay, beautiful. So Soul Care and HD, Sovngarde HD, these I want. These are also being overwritten, but they're being overwritten just by statues, which I want. So if you see like a lightning bolt with the negative only, that's fine. Soul Karen is overwriting SMIM, and right now it's being overwritten by Skyrim 3D landscapes. This will change. ELFX will stay, but the 3D landscapes will change. We could actually do that now. Let's go back down to grasses. Skyrim 3D trees and plants. Well, let's get rid of the landscapes first. The ground cover, the landscape. Remove that. We can remove the main mod. And the 3D trees and plants, we have EVT. Could remove that. Okay, now you'll notice I have an error here. Missing masters. So for Quins, okay, if you look over here, you're going to get this when you remove things that have other masters. So when I go to reinstall Quins, these are all going to default back to ESLs, which means I'm going to have to run the patcher again. Unless I just disable this one option. I could do that, and it goes away, right? But there's more than one. So there's one here, and there's one for what's this obscure college. So these here are all ESLs. So I could disable this one too. I like to leave my errors up so I can see which ones are being affected by what else. There really shouldn't be anything else. Oh, did the stream flop? You guys are good now? Hold on, let me... I didn't see a flop on my end. Oh, shit. Okay, looks like it's good. What else are we going to put in? We are going to throw in... Let's go back up to textures. I think the big textures are done. Oh, snow and ice. Nordic snow can go. Don't need it. We have John's. It's built into Skyland. So I can now remove Nordic snow. We're going to keep better dynamic snow and better dynamic ash. Let's refresh this. So better dynamic snow is being overwritten by ELFX. That's exactly what we want. That's fine. Statues. These are all good. Everything in the statues category is good. LODs. Alright, so HT LOD textures, they're fine. I'm going to keep these for ruins, caves, and mines. We want Skyland Imperial Forts and Dungeons, Skyland Nordic Ruins. What else do I want? This is Nordic Snow. Oh, Kabloom Mountain Flowers. This is John's new one. Or one of his new ones. This is his flower mod. It doesn't do all of them, but it does the mountain flowers. And this is just going to go under his landscape. I think that should be... because this landscape affects flowers. And I don't have anything else affecting flowers right now, so... where are we? Skyland. Right there. Check the plugins first before I activate it. I'm at 235. This should just be textures. Make sure you refresh it. And you can see that Skyland's now being overwritten by something. Underground, we have to get rid of underground. His mountains. Now these are granite mountains. These are different than the mountains that come in Skyland. Nordic ruins, yes. CC's mines, we have to get rid of CC's mines. Underground. Astral aspect. I may get rid of Astral Aspect, the 4K standing stones. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. So ruins and caves. Underground. CC's mines, CC's caves. We can remove. These are textures. We can remove this. And we could remove underground. Okay. Then hit refresh. So now if I go to Skyline Landscape and see conflicts, you'll see ELFX, Granite Mountains, Design of the Nords, his own Nordic ruins, right? And Astral Aspect. And he's overriding SMIM, Blended Roads, and that's it. It's good now? Okay, awesome. Awesome. Means I can, you'll see that we still have notifications in here. They're fine. We're going to take care of the notifications at the end. I'm going to leave them up, right? These little icons, like I said, you could hover on them. They tell you exactly which one's missing. It says missing masters, 3D trees, and that's for obscures. We're going to take care of that. That's not a problem. Having errors like that, if you see things like this, oh, you messed up, it's really not an issue. Mod Organizer does everything for you. It tells you the master required by. The old version used to fix it for you. This one says no guided fix. I remember seeing tutorials where if there was an issue, there was like a box that said fix. You could hit fix and it would automatically fix it for you. Why there's not one for MO2 with this, I don't know, but it is what it is. What else do we want? Well, his city mods, right? Yeah, I want his city mods. They're textures, so they'll go with Nesbit's city mods. And I like to keep them in the same category, even though they are just textures. You see mountains, Granite Mountains. This is John's, right? So grass is good. We want our grass, our trees, EVT. A couple extra random textures I like to do. Mushroom retextures. And then the Mora Tapanella 2K, Swamp Fungal Pods. This is from Old Rim. This is a really nice, just a texture mod. This is a really nice one. And then my landscape fixes, right? So city overhauls. Let me blow this up here for you. Make it a little bit easier. I added Markarth Origin, right? Nordic Life. I reverted back to the standard version, okay? I had the Aspens version, but we're going to get Aspen trees with EVT, so there may be a few less trees in my town of Whiterun, but that's actually okay in my book. I like to have a nice looking Whiterun, but at the same time, I also don't. I don't want too much going on. You'll see I'm running Winterhold Restored and a couple of the Great City mods and Quaint Raven Rock. We also have Frankly HD Markarth. This is going to be replaced by Skyland. All this stuff is going to be replaced by Skyland. So let's go to. We'll grab Skyland Markarth. Now I know he's working on the. Actually, we'll grab Whiterun first because Whiterun's the biggie. Textures 519, and that's not including his cobblestones for 20 megabytes. Well worth it. I know I hit you a couple times. There's the data. Set. So we got Whiterun. It's going to go right under Nordic Life. Same thing with the cobblestones. Make sure you change the name with this. Otherwise it'll ask you to overwrite and you'll have to do it again. Okay, so that's pretty easy. So Nordic Life is priority 154. Well, let's put that back up. Nordic Life, Skyland Whiterun, activate it. And Whiterun Cobblestones. through 155. Right there. Okay. And sometimes I'll do this after one mod, sometimes I'll do it after two. You see Skyline Whiterun. This should only be affected by the cobblestones. Or something like a lighting mod. Or rustic windows, that's normal. Cobblestones and rustic windows, that's what we want. Okay, that looks perfect. So we'll have John's textures for the town. We'll have his cobblestones for Whiterun. I'm using a total of 372 right now. OCD. When you look up top here, let me close this out real quick for you. When you look up top, it says active 372. That's everything in this left pane. Okay. My load order is this right here. This is my load order. This is my mod list. So this would be the mod list. This would be the plugins or load order. You'll see I have active 235. So 372 total mods. 235 of them have either ESPs or ESMs. Total would be 235. 237 if you count the 2 extra ESLs that are floating around. This is skimmed down. The one I had like 4 days ago, I was up around 470 ish, give or take. I trimmed it down. I didn't want as much as I had in. We'll do Markarth next. We'll get John's Markarth, and then whenever he updates his Markarth. Now I do like, frankly, HD Markarth, and I'm actually tempted to leave this in because these are going to overhaul the Dwemer ruins as well, and I may actually have to adjust some lighting with this, but the only criticism people ever had with John's Markarth was that it seemed a little too white, and the one done by Frank Family is called the White City Redux, but it's not as white. But we're going to go with this one. We're going to run all of John's stuff. Set the data directory. That's good. This is going to be down the bottom here. This is going to be 164. It's going to take the place of it. Oh, it's a lot of placing and moving. This is the part that I hate the most. Placing and moving. Alright. And just go to plugins. I'm at 235. When I activate this, I should still be at 235. I am. And then I can deactivate this. And I can remove it. And we're good. And then refresh if you want to. You don't have to refresh them. I do it sometimes. Now see Skyline marker, it's being overwritten by something. Ancient Dwemer metal. So these are things that are, you can see right here, some of the doors, some of the metal, but not everything. We're going to get John's textures on the city and some of the metal textures from Ancient Dwemer metal. It's exactly what I wanted. Okay. What else do we have? Let's go back. Let's take a look. Skyland Winterhold. Yep. We have Winterhold restored. Okay. So we'll get Skyland Winterhold. This is number. This is better dynamics. No, we want John's to overwrite. 157, 158, so this is going to be 159. I may have to take that patch out. Just for better dynamics now. So, activate Skyline Winterhold. So if I visit this on Nexus, I'm running better dynamics now. I just want to make sure this one's okay. It should be. Yep, okay. Yeah, we're good. So I can really put that anywhere. I like to refresh this because, like, when I'm doing it, I like to see where the overwrites are. So you'll see this one's just being overwritten by rustic windows. It's exactly what we want. Rustic Windows is a fantastic mod, by the way. Yeah, I think you meant is that so Lord Curse his Hold Capital series. I wonder if that's the one that's incompatible with TPOS too. I know Nesbit has. Let me just double check real quick. Yeah, it's something with hold. The word hold is in it somewhere. I forget off the top of my head. Hold capitals maybe. It's in here somewhere. I know it is. I don't know. I know it's in here somewhere. That I know. Alright. What am I doing? What am I doing? City. Alright, so we have Skyland, Winterhold. Okay. Skyland Solitude. Yep. And I'm even thinking about taking off the Great City mods. I know I have a couple of them in here. Uh, I don't think John did a Falkreath. I'm not sure. I think it classifies under Farmhouse, to be honest with you. That version, Lord Curse's Hold Capital series. Let me see. Unless it's not on Nexus. Is it a Bethesda? Oh. I guess I could search. Oh, I could search by users. I could search by Lord Curse. So, unless it's all together. We'll try that. We'll try it that way. Might be. I don't know. Valkyrie Downstar Windhold. So yeah, that's the dilemma. So I could keep. Well, like I said, I run the great cities for now. For something like this, here's the thing too. I would normally take these out and I replace them with Arthmoors, because they're around the same size. I think Arthmoors are only like maybe 3 MB is his largest small town that he's done. Do I even have Solitude in here? I don't think I do. I think I left out. Yeah, I think I left it out. Let's get Riften. Alright. Let's get towns and villages. What else do we have? We have Whiterun. We have Winterhold. We have Markarth. Let's bring these up here. Magic. Up a little higher. I always forget. Alright, they're right here. Okay. So, Solitude. I don't have Great City Solitude. I don't believe I do. We'll leave it off. Because like I said, I still have to do my LODs. I still have to do um, I'll put text gen, dynalod, and then the patcher. We got to redo the patcher. So I'll leave Great City Solitude. Well, Dawnstar, Falkreath. Now let's add it. May as well add it, right? I'm running the other ones. There it is, Solitude. One file. 2.2 megabytes. That's not bad. Now this one's gonna be all the way up at the top. Yeah, I'm just gonna add an ESP. So priority 160 it'll wind up being. Passed it. Just by a little bit. Okay. So this is where you check the plugins. Which one here has a plugin? Great City Dawnstar, right? So that's 76. Okay. Can activate this. Bring this one up here too. And it's going to go right above Dawnstar, right? Right there. Okay. So that looks good. What else? What else do I have? So geckos runs out, 3D trees. These are extra ones. Skyland towns and villages. Okay, so now I have to go back and I have to reference Nordic. Well, I know where it goes. Farmhouse. It's going to go right here. So, Skyland towns and villages. Make sure you, with John's and a couple others, make sure you scroll down until you find the data. If for whatever reason there's not data and then you see stuff like meshes, textures, scripts, and whatever, usually the one that's above it, like if I were to go here, you just want to make sure you set the proper one. So this is now going to be priority 173. Bring it up. Bring it all the way up. Up, 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 up. Passed it up. Almost passed it up. So, all right. Now, we were running ours farmhouse and handcarts. I like the handcarts, but we can't run two farmhouse mods. So, we're going to I'm going to take the 3D door off as well because I just want John. So 3D. So 3D door can be removed. Or as farmhouse gets deactivated, that can also be removed. And let me refresh this just to see what I have going on. Skyland Towns and Villages is being overwritten by Rustic Windows, and it's overwriting SMIM. That is absolutely perfect. It's exactly what I want. Do I have anything else Skyland? I think I saw one, right? The signs mod? Yep. This is road signs. Okay. This is going to go here by point the way. Well, not necessarily. Let's take a look at some other things here. So we have realistic road signs, Skyrim 3D signs. So this road sign's here. This is the one that we want to take off. Let's add in John's. Skyland HD road signs. It's going to be 215. Oh, we got Riften at the bottom there. Got to move that up. You can see how I forget stuff like that all the time. Put it right there. Bam. Realistic road signs can now be deactivated and removed. Yep. Now we have a point the way patch, which we have to add in. That's going to look good, and it's going to go under. Where is it? Where is it? Right there. So it's going to be 216 now, because point the way is above. We want the signs in the patch to override it, so right there. Add that in. Now that may have an ESP, I'm not sure. Nope, it doesn't. Okay, we're good. What's up, Brewster? I have the handcart separate, yep. I do. Right under ELFX like they recommend. I kept the handcarts. I do like them. What else needs... Now, there's other stuff that needs to be removed. We're going to keep a lot of the 3D misc. I do like a lot of Matthew's separate stuff, and obviously Fuchsia's manhole textures. If you haven't seen this mod yet, and you're on PC, use it. I know manholes are kind of a funny thing to think of having one particular mod just to texture a couple things in the game. Trust me when I say that this mod is amazing for what it is. And if you're using something like Sewers of Skyrim, you're going to be actually using those manhole covers. And this mod makes them freaking awesome. Let's see here. Oh, we have to move Riften up. That's right. So you'll notice at the bottom in TPOS2, because I gave TPOS2 and others categories, you'll see the towns that are their own overhaul but need to be below TPOS2. Riverwood, Morthal, Guild City of Thieves is Riften, Rebellion is Windhelm, and Whiterun is the Whiterun Walls outside. This actually requires TPOS2 and must be below it. I'm still going to put Riften up top with the other cities. I could put it below, but it's going to pick up its textures. So where are we? Farmhouse, we're up a little higher, I think. We'll put it under Markarth. Okay, and then if I refresh this, you'll see Skyland Riften is overriding, but it's not being overwritten. It's overriding RCI and the Riften door from Static Mesh. Okay. So Nesbit's Riften will take on John's textures and various other ones too. If I go to, where is it? Guild City of Thieves. Yeah, it doesn't have any other. It's got some of Matthew's in there. Farmhouse Walls. Well, I'm running John's towns and villages, but for the walls specifically, nothing yet, Rooster. Yeah, it's called Rebellion OCD. I'll show you real quick. There's two versions on. Well, here I'll go to my page on Bethesda just to show you. Because I handle Nesbitt's ports. If I go to authored, Rebellion is these right here. There are two of them. Where's the other one? Right there. Stormcloak's respawn versions, and it's a small file. It's less than a megabyte. This is the no LODs version. Stormcloak respawn with this file. If you view the gallery, this is what it adds. Right behind Clan Shatter Shield. Normally there's nothing. This is a whole area that's been blank that he's filled in. He's going to expand on this. Skyrim landscape. Overhaul stone walls for Ellie. Alright, Rooster, you've piqued my interest. Let me get off BNet here. Let me do this, and then I'll get off BNet. What's the name of that mod? So it's for Ellie. Titties. Ah, right there, top one, right? Now we could just stare at the boobs all day. Interesting. It's a faux mod. Meshes. Tell me the meshes work and I don't have to do anything with them. I don't feel like fucking around with this today. Are they good? I know meshes can mess up when you're going from LE to SE. It's the only reason why I ask. That's why I'm hesitant to ever do anything like that. Let's take a look at them real quick. Okay. Yeah, I mean you're changing the whole model. Look at that. Interesting. But I wonder how much else is going to change too, though. They work fine. Okay. Yeah, we'll try them. I may as well, right? What's it say? All-in-one faux mod. Holy crap! 180 something megabytes. That's a big boy. Alright, you're gonna have to tell me what to install on this. And where you put it, because this is a new one for me. Let's go Stonewall. Optional. Don't have enhanced. That's literally just for Iverstead? Tell me that's for the rest of the game too. That's a big file. So just the base wall meshes, right? I don't need new Ivy. I have Ivy. New farm wall. Replaces the vanilla walls bordering farms around Whiterun. Just pick the terrace stone. Alright, here's texture 1. 4K, 2K. Got 2K, 1K. I like 2K stuff. So it's one of the medium ones. Hmm. Just do the terrace. Oh, so don't pick. So this isn't going to matter, basically, is what you're saying, right? I'm wondering how it's going to mesh with John's stuff, though. Like I said, I was happy with let's go on. Awesome. Texture. We'll go high. Why not? I'll go 4K with it. Whatever. Install. Uh, Rooster, where did you place this in yours? With the farmhouse stuff? Like under the farmhouse stone wall? And then we could do his textures under that too? I think it was like 160. Yeah, because the ivy's right there. And Wine Dave has a texture for that. Okay, awesome. So you can see everybody, we all jump in and make load orders great again. Come here, you. I hate when it does that. Come here. No, no, no. Search. User. Make sure Ivy's above that. Okay. Davis Mountains. Is it on Ellie? His Mossy Whiteland Rolls, right? Or are you talking about inside of his actual mountain mod? Because this is his, yeah, I don't think that's it. I think you're talking about inside mountains. Okay. Oh yeah, 14 files. Jeez. Update. We want optional. I'm assuming 2K. These are stone walls, darker stone walls, 4K stone walls. All right. 4K. Probably this one. I'll go the 4K stone wall, right? Looks pretty good, right? Use the 2K stone wall. HD Mountains 2K stone walls for Scylla. Gotta be. All right, yeah, this one here. Well, that is the 2K stone wall, right? Hold on. I'll back out. That's okay. I didn't download it yet. Yeah, right here. This Dave's 2K stone walls. This one. Yeah, I'll do 4K. 4K stone walls. It's not much higher in file size. I wonder how it will be on performance, but we'll see. Yeah, you see how that right there? So that'll be the data. And that's going to be what, 175? Okay. So we got. Alright, I've got John's farmhouse, his towns and villages, Skyrim landscape overhaul, stone walls, Dave's 4K stone walls. So the HD, hide the HD photo, I can't fucking say it. File tree, meshes, architecture, farmhouse. So just everything from Stonewall, just hide that entire folder. No. Okay, good thing I didn't do anything. Okay. Well, I didn't do anything, so what am I looking at here? So the Stonewall Ivy's in here, right? Yeah, if all the if like those three ivies for the Stonewall need to be hidden, you could hide the whole Stonewall folder, but I'll do them individually just in case. But yeah, I haven't had any issue hiding the whole this whole folder. If I close this and I go like say I hide that and then I open it, they would automatically be mod hidden. But we'll unhide it. So yeah, just the files themselves are hidden. And then I'll make a note. Hidden meshes. So just so I remember. Okay. Oh no, that's cool. I mean, I probably should have opened the folder up in the first place. So it looks good then. We got John's. Well, let me refresh it real quick just to double check. We got John's farmhouse being overwritten by Rustic. That's good. This one should be overwritten by Dave's. Yep, that looks good. And his is overwriting that one. Okay, good. Looks good. What else? What else? What else? Let's see. Let's go all the way back down. I can ignore these ones in the bottom here. I don't think I have all of John's mods. I wanted to run all of John's mods. I don't have all of John's mods. I'll do this. We'll open up his page. User files. You get the ivy textures in the stone wall. Okay, cool. Awesome. We have his flowers, his grand amount. These two are actually both on the top mods today. The Kabloom Mountain Flower is actually bumped all the way up. 34 endorsed. I hope I endorsed this. I'm almost positive I did. I think I was like the second one to endorse it. Yeah, I did. Okay. Granite Mountains. He's got almost 90 in it in like what, like 3 days. I should get the freaking coffee. I should, right? We have Winterhold. Do we have watercolor? I have realistic water too. Okay. Yeah, I have Skyline watercolor. I have to adjust this too because I do not have I need in here anymore. I think I have it deactivated. I do. So it's 133. I'm going to reactivate I need, I think. I've actually been tempted to switch over to realistic needs. Uh, reason because in the MCM, you can activate and deactivate the mod at will. Um, the benefit to something like that is this particular character is going to become undead later on. He would have no point to eat regular food, drink anything. He doesn't even breathe with this type of character. So at that point, I would probably just shut it off. I think in the meantime, I'm sorry, I've run I need a lot. I find that I really don't like going into a separate menu when I'm playing. Um, let's take a look at realistic needs because we can. This is priority 133. Let's just take a look. So I need, okay. I have Harvest Overhaul on. Uh, all in one. Don't need the Frostfall patch. I don't run Frostfall. Requirements. No mod requirements. What does it need? Food and healing patch. See, some of these things are interesting. There's one for Project AHO. Well, first of all, let's see how many of my quest mods need patches. It would be AHO. I think that's it. Legacy doesn't have one. I'm surprised. Anyway, um, I don't know. I haven't. I'll be honest. I haven't used this one since console. This was the first needs mod I ever used, and I've gone back and forth on console between this and this. I haven't used this one on PC yet. This mod makes obsolete the following patches: strong backup save requirements, SE, and it's just for installation of an old one. Get disabled and remove them from your load list. Patches for Hunterborn, Beyond Skyrim, don't have either of those. I don't have Harvest Overhaul creatures. I just have Harvest Overhaul, so I don't need this. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one for a while. Let's just see. We'll see how it plays in. I hate when there's I like when there's a warning there. Discussion page. Reloaded, resaved. Archive was extracted, repacked. Without SKSE, there are furthermore some limitations. I have SKSE, so don't worry about that. This looks like it's old from 2016. Yep, okay. Hmm. Well, I don't like that. Bugged it from a couple months ago. Okay. Huh. It should be fine. I'm not using like any other cooking mod or anything like that, so I'm not going to be a vampire. Let's just see if there's another MCM for it. It says all in one. I just like to double check. See, this is 2.0. German. I don't want the new fruit. Multiple languages. Italian, Russian, Turkish, Portuguese. Oh, that's neat. Easy wheel menu. Like EFF. Okay. Yeah, let's go with this one. And we'll see what it gives us. With the foam mod here. Been quite a while since I've run this. But I think it'd be pretty interesting. Oh, there's not. There's just, it's an all-in-one. Okay. So I needs 133. We're also going to have to reinstall Skyland. Or that's Skyland. Check out where the wet and cold for fix is. Harvest overhauls right there. Okay. 65. All right, we're good. this one up right above 65. Bam. Okay. So we could remove I need. Now, a couple other things I need to do with that. I'm going to reinstall Realistic Water 2. We're going to go Landscape Fix. Okay, so this is the same one. It does have both. This is a patch for both Realistic Needs and Diseases and I need. Okay. So I really don't need to reinstall this, technically. Let me cancel that out and I'll see why. It should be down here. Yeah, Skyland, so Landscape Fix and the Needs Mods patch, I already have them. And we have Slow Green, so that should be fine. Skyland Watercolor, though, however, I have to reinstall. We want Slow Green. To use Realistic Water 2, yes. To use I have to select no for this. Although, I wonder, and I probably have to ask John directly, he's probably got it set up for the I need mechanic. So I wonder if the same thing would work for R&D. I doubt it, but I'm going to select no just to be on the safe side since I am now not using I need. Thank you for downloading. Reinstall. We will replace watercolor right there. Slow green. Okay. That should be fine. So what else by John? What else by John? What don't I have of his? Ships and Shacks I don't think I have. I think Ships and Shacks. We have his signs, we have his cities, we have the ruins, we have Riften, we have the forts and dungeons. I have Shields of the Holds, I don't have Granite Hill. I have Legendary City, so I have Granite Hall. We have Whiterun, we have Towns and Villages. I had Granite Hill in there, which was actually it was fun. It's a really fun little town. I don't have Angus House because this character is not going to use it. Otherwise, I would. Just Ships and Shacks, I think, is the only one. I'd like stuff like Ranger Weapons, the Coffee mod. Although I'm kind of tempted, but let's get Ships and Shacks. Yeah, no, let me see here. I'm almost positive I don't have it in this one. Yep. So it must have been in my other one. I had it downloaded at one point, but not for this. Okay. Looks good. Do I have to change the name? Do I have it? Do I freaking have it? Hold on. I do have it. 247. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, never mind. I have it. Alright, never mind. We're good. I have everything. How about that? What else do we have to do? We have to get rid of... Anything else I have to get rid of? Did I bring Riften up? I think I did. All right. We have the blank text gen. We have the blank Dynalod. The patcher I'm going to have to rerun. So click this ESP off. Click this ESP off. And remove mod. That's the big boy that hurts right there. Now we can go in and we could fix some of these that don't belong. Let me just make one quick glance over. I want to make sure I have everything properly. TPOS2, all of Nesbitt's mods, yes. RDO. We're going to have to rerun Finis. So I'm going to get rid of all my saves because we're going to do this completely brand new. Okay. So I have ELFX, RS Handcart, EMB Light, Obscures College of Wintercold. I think this is one that had a missing patch. Yes, it did. Okay. Let me just check my rest of my textures. I think that's the only other thing I need. Necromancy, no ash piles. I need that. My animal textures. Keep that in. Let's, you know what? For the hell of it, let's throw in Highland cows. Why not, right? 2K textures for Highland cows. Bam. Why not, right? I haven't used it. We're gonna use it. McDonald's. That's hysterical. Animals and beasts. So 350. Be close up here, right there. Right. Right. Put it right at the bottom. Okay. All right. So we're actually taking out 1, 2. I think we're only taking out two patches here. Let me just make sure everything else is good. We should have everything else. I know my animals are good. Just the Necromancer revamp robes. This could actually just ignore the update, whatever. Evolution, I could ignore this. I hate when they put that on there. It's annoying. So this is my Dwemer preset. This is my Necro. So I already have my character preset. He's fine. We're going to use this one. None of these have changed. I don't have T Skyrim True Weapons enabled. That's fine. Jewelry is fine. Don't think I changed anything here. Don't have Ordinator, so Apocalypse, but I do have this in here just in case I like to swap back. Lesser textures. This is the one I want to make sure of. So we have Skyline HD road signs, point the way, patch. There's point the way. Clutter mods, they look good. That's Rudy stuff. Forgotten and Misk retex. Skyline towns and villages. Yeah, everything else should be good. Okay. So, all right, number one, we are going to rerun the patcher. We have to get rid of these errors. And this is what I was going to show before. So, Obscures College of Winterhold is missing a patch for 3D trees. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinstall Obscures. And I'm going to do this and show you how to get this mod working properly on Special Edition, meaning Percus Maximus. All right, so you see there's Obscures plus, I believe, wow, okay. Where's the other one? Okay, right there is all the files. There's the College of Winterhold patch for TPOS2 that needs to be under, which it is. Okay, Moral Loot, and then you can see these patches. We're going to be getting rid of this one here, but we're going to have to go back and change these uh, when I reinstall it. But it's cool to see because then you'll understand, you'll get a good idea of how to actually do it if you decide you want to use this on PC. So we're going to reinstall Obscures, and we're just going to basically let it do everything it needs. Sometimes double check things. Moral, yes. I'm not running E and B ELE this time, just ELFX. TPOS2, yep. I don't have the midden expanded. No sounds. So no 3D trees. So we're going to replace this. That patch should leave, but you're going to see something. Okay? See how they all switch to lights like this? Now we have one more error, I think. We should. And it's with Quins. These are two of the biggest patches. Yep. Same thing, 3D trees. We're going to go do the same thing. We're going to reinstall Quins. We're going to let Quins do its thing. You guys are going to see that it's going to, we're down to 235. We'll be down to 234 when we're done with this. I know these are all good. We're going to replace. Down to 234. Okay, but you see how it's changed them to ESLs. Okay. That's a good thing. So what I'm going to do is, and what you guys should do is run loot, just to make sure, but don't use loot to sort your stuff. Like I said, I mean, I don't do it, but if you feel more comfortable letting loot do it, then do it, but I like to hand place all my stuff. I have one error. I know what the error is. It's from Immersive Jewelry and Summer Mist. I think I went over this earlier. There is a patch. I had the patch. This did not do anything. So we're good. We're good to go. We're going to try running the patcher. Patches Maximus. Okay. The patcher can take a while to do, but we're going to get errors, and I'll show you. Show you what the errors are. This will come up first. All you do is just wait for the little spinny thing to stop. Hit patch. It'll stop around 6%, right? All right, so we're missing stuff. So when I was sitting here yesterday looking at what exactly the hell was wrong, I'm like, I know there's no missing masters. I know everything's good. Now this is what? Better Dynamic Snow and Obscure College, right? So when it says the plugin, OCW. All right, back. Plugin OCW, Obscure's College Winterhold, Better Dynamic Snow, patch has missing masters. Okay. All right, just hit OK for that. You're going to get another error up top here. That's fine. This is the Skyproc patcher in your mod override, but there's nothing there right now. These files, because you tried running it, right? You could just delete this, so you don't need this yet. Okay. If I type in OCW here, right? Now this is what I was doing. I was looking for the first one. Well, it's the Better Dynamic Snow patch. And then I looked over and I'm like, these are all ESPs, but these are all at the bottom. You see here it says this ESP is flagged as an ESL. So what I was doing originally for the last couple months was I was just deactivating the patches, or I would remove one of those two mods. In this case, the mod I would have removed would be Better Dynamic Snow. But then I'm right on to the next one with the LFX. I would skip over Better Dynamic Snow. All right, awesome. I don't have an error there because I don't have the mod, but I'd get one for ELFX. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? All right. Early this morning, with lack of sleep, I figured it out. These have to be actual ESPs. They cannot be ES lights, which means you are running TES edit, not the quick, not the quick clean, the big boy. Select none. OCW, right? These are all errors. You're all when you run the patcher for Percus Maximus, if you want to run that overhaul, you're going to get errors with everything that's in ESL, with the exception of LOD, and for some reason, discovering Skyrim. I don't know why. So what we do is check, 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 and check. Normally you would only do one at a time. Because I was testing, I found that you could do multiple this way if you want to expedite it. It doesn't hurt anything at all. When you're cleaning things, do them one at a time. When you're doing this, you could do multiples. If you don't understand what I mean, I apologize. This is like 8 or 8:39 at 9 a.m. this morning after being up for like 20 hours. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, there has to be a way because I want to play with this overhaul. And like I said, I went back and forth between Nexus, I went back and forth between YouTube tutorials, I went on other Discords that these guys that did the tutorials are on. I could not find anything. I didn't want to remove the mods either. I was being stubborn about it, and I was also coffee deprived. So this is kind of boring stuff, but to me it's kind of interesting to see because this is like a major fix for people that want to use this overhaul and haven't been able to. So once it's done, just the unofficial patch, that's all you need. Just hit OK, right? It's going to finish. It's going to do its thing. Now you see all these that are say ESL? Expand these. Now this is kind of the opposite of when Rooster you showed me how to ELSify. I think I said that right. We're doing the exact opposite of that. Right to the file header, right to where it says ESL, we're going to right click, edit. You're going to get the warning. Yes, I'm sure. So please change the value. We want this to go from 1 to 0. Once you do, you'll see that it gets an actual ESP. It's no longer flagged as an ESL. Okay. You move on to your next one. File header, right? ESL, edit. You don't get that same warning twice. You just hit 0 and enter, right? You're good. Move on to the next one. Edit, 0, enter. Kind of counterproductive. Normally you would want ESLs. In this case, I already have a pretty good setup, and I'm under the 255 limit, so I'm not really worried about ESPs. My game runs pretty good, so I'm sure with like something like Rybash or Zmerge, it would be a little bit easier. To have more if you wanted to. So you can see this is all finished now. They're fine. For Obscure's College, all of the Obscure's patches, right? So I'm going to close this out. It's going to show me them all. That they are now official ESPs. They're all checked. We're good. So we hit OK. This is going to close itself out, right? Now we have an error message because there are files in my overwrite. This is normal. Double check it. This is just your, there, right? You could delete this right now. You don't need this right now. You don't need it at all, actually. You have to delete it. So, where's my college mod? Where'd it go? Right there. Highlight it. We'll go down and check them. Right? See? They're all fixed. The regular priority is the same. They are no longer lights. They are now regular plugins. Now you notice we still had one more error, remember? We had it for Quins. Where was it? It was here somewhere. I know I saw it. Oh, that's right. We got it right. All right, so Quins is the next one. We are going to get errors for Quins. All right. But if you want to double check your work doing this, run the patcher again. Patchus Maximus. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, it's going to probably get to about 6, 7, 8% again. It's going to give me another error. I might go a little further than that, but probably not. 6%. Okay. What did we get? QW, ISC, USSEP patch. That's Quins, Immersive Sounds Compendium, unofficial Skyrim special edition patch. Okay. Right. And, well, let's go to Quins. Right here. Hey, they are ESLs. We got to fix them. So we go right back to the same thing. Xedit. The big boy. We're going to run. We are going to select none. And in the filter, we're going to type QW. It's going to bring up these ESLs that we need to fix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit OK. Let it load. You know, usually doesn't take much longer than a minute, 2 minutes the most sometimes. Sometimes it might take longer. It depends on how many are in there. I actually started doing them one at a time until I realized I had, at the time, I probably had 73, and I couldn't be asked to rerun Xedit 73 times. So that's why I went to try to see if I can fix them all in one go. Like, all right, I'll load up everything from Obscures, everything from Quins, and you know, if it gives me an error, it gives me an error. Then I just reinstall the mod, and then I go back to doing it one by one. Lo and behold, it worked. You know, just branching out on a limb with this one. Lack of sleep, lack of coffee, and I was pretty much out of options. So it's just, but it's building references. It's probably gonna go to the like minute and a half mark. We're gonna do the same thing that we did for Obscures. Okay, there we go. So unofficial patch is the one that's selected, right? All. Make sure that's the one. Just hit OK. It'll finish. It'll do its thing. So now, yeah, we're doing the same thing. File header, which is the first option. Some of them are going to have more, but you don't have to worry about that. You go to the record flags, sorted, ESL. Over here, you're going to right click, edit. You're going to get the big message the first time. Hit 0, enter. Cloaks patch is done. Move on to the next one. See how this says leveled items, outfit, blah, blah, blah. File header. Edit. 0, enter. Okay. This would be weapons, armor, clothing, clutter, immersive sounds, and Quins patch. Patches for patches. That's pretty much what it is. And then the last one is sorry. All right, the last one's Quins, Wicco, unofficial patch, ESL is now ESP. And I like to close these just to make sure. Sometimes it gets difficult reading. You have your masters up there. Close it back out. Make sure they're all selected. They are. Hit OK. Okay. And then when we click on Quins, you'll see Quins are now good. There's the these two which don't matter because they're not selected, but we wound up fixing them anyway, right? In case we do need them for something else. These are the three that we really need here. This was the first one I got the error on. This one here. You notice I fixed these, but I didn't get the error for these because they're not in the list. But I liked when you reinstall them, even if they're not selected, you're gonna get all of them regardless of whether or not they're activated or not. So now we're gonna have this crap on our override again. So first we got to get rid of it. Uh, this is the cache and the procker that was trying to run. All right. Now, do I have anything else? So the last thing you're gonna want to do is double check. I didn't adjust Finis at all. That should be fine. TextGen and Dynalog's gonna come. Let's just double check our plugins real quick. These are not active. They're good. Everything else should be fine. The only one should be left is Discover Skyrim, which is this one. I'm sorry, HTLods is fine. For some reason, HTLods you don't have to do with. And then discover or undiscover Skyrim should be fine. So when I run the patcher this time, it should be fine. Java. I mean, Java's a should be. I say should be. Well, who knows? I might get an error. It would be my luck that I went through all this work early last night and then today to get an error. No, it's running. Okay. So this is one thing with the patcher. Okay. It is noted that when you hit 100%, you're not done. It is based on how many other mods it is patching for, because this mod, Percus Maximus, the patcher, patches for everything else that has a value that you're running. Also including its own weapons, its own armor, some textures for them, uh, armor values and weapon values of mods that you're using on top of the vanilla shit, combat perks, enemy AI, enemy level lists, loot level lists, on top of your added mods that add to those level lists. So it's like level lists on top of level lists. So it's patching for all that stuff. It's patching for the patches of your patches. So this is going to take a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to bring my phone out with me so I can still chat with you guys. This is the boring part. You sit here and you wait, or you get up and you go do something, because this one could take the actual 15 minutes that I'm on break. You can see though in the little black box, if you can see it on your screen there, it might be hard on yours. I know on my mobile, I can barely make out the box. It's saying task, weapon stats, variants, keywords, ... which means it's working. The weapons is eventually going to switch over to armors. It's going to switch to miscellaneous. And then it's going to move on to like magic and spells, things of that nature, because this does add in magic and spells. So it's a good size mod. It's near 400 megabytes, three and a half, almost 400 megabytes. There's a lot that went into this. So while this is doing its thing, I'm gonna take a break, but I'm gonna take my phone out with me. I'm gonna grab a quick smoke. But I'll chat with you guys there. This is just gonna do its thing. I'm gonna watch it in real time. Unfortunately, this is the downside of running this mod, because it's a lot of setup, but the payoff is absolutely worth it, which is why this morning I didn't want to go to sleep, but I was dead tired. I kind of just literally finished this up and crashed. So um, I can't even actually put up the be right back message. I'm just going to let it run so I can watch it real time. I'm going to go outside. I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, back. So, yeah, it looked like the patcher finished while I was in the middle of one. So, just wanted to finish that off. The weather here decided it wanted to go from 30 degrees this morning to we hit 60, and now back to mid 30s again. So, patcher looks like it's finished. We have the message up top. Notifications to read. There is something in my overwrite mod. Okay, that's what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring down both panes. So you see the bottom. So you'll see Patches Maximus ESP is already created. It's not activated yet. But that's what we want. So let's check overwrite. Overwrite's got, there we go. Patches Maximus ESP, and you see the Skyproc patchers. Tendo's Patches Maximus. All of the files. Everything's there. That's what we want. Okay, so it's done that for us. So you do the same thing here in overwrite like you would with Finis, like you would with TextGen, Dynalod, anything where you're going to self-create a mod. So we're going to create mod. And I just name it Patches Maximus. Okay. Beautiful. Now see the patch is gone from this side, but there it is. Okay. That's how you know it's working right. So we got that in. We have no errors. We also have no ESLs now, aside from the two that weren't needed, my LOD for HD LODs. And for like I said, for whatever reason, Undiscovered Skyrim, ESP is flagged as an ESL. It will adhere to the ESP load order, but records will be loaded in ESL space. I have the feeling that this isn't a requirement of anything, which is like why it's the only one that doesn't follow that as an ESL. I'm sure there's more of them. I haven't seen any others with my own load orders. Okay, so there we go. It's at the bottom. That's where it needs to be. In this pane, yeah, right there at the bottom, right where it needs to be. Finis, we didn't touch anything with Finis. I didn't change any, add or remove any combat or skeleton related. Oh no, that's right. I do have to recreate Finis because I did reinstall XP32. Okay, we have to do Finis again. That's okay. Finis is pretty easy. So deactivate and remove Finis output. Hit yes. Okay. Then refresh. And we're going to run Finis again. This one will be pretty easy. This doesn't take very long. It's going to do its thing. Select gender, specific animation, select skeleton arm fix. These top two boxes are what you want. Update Finis behavior. Okay, it's going to run. I forgot about XP32. It's probably a good thing that I caught that. The last thing you want to do is rerun the patcher when something bugs out like that. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So 721 animations for 3 mods successfully included. Do your consistency check. There should be 0 issues. Hit exit. And generate Finis for users. No, you want to hit no for this. Don't create a program shortcut on your desktop. Okay. I was going to put another thing into our overwrite mod, which is Finis. Same thing. Same thing we just did. Just double check it to make sure it's all there. Your scripts, right? Finis PCA2. Okay. Close that out. Right click, create mod. Finis output. Bam. Okay. Place this one under XP32, but above our soon-to-be created TextGen and Dynalod mods. And that one's good. Last we have to do is our LODs, and that's it. So TextGen and Dynalad, the last two. And same thing, these are going to run quicker than the patcher did. Uh, Dynalad's going to take a little bit of time. TextGen usually doesn't take that much. So we're going to run it. Okay, yeah. So we're at 380 total mods, 235. I don't think my plugins have changed. I think we only went down a couple on the plugin side. Okay. Make sure your output path is where you have your mod store. Like if you're an MO2 user, obviously it's going to be your virtual folder. It's going to be C, was it app data or users app data local, or your name app data local, MO2 Skyrim mods TextGen output. That's going to be created. If you need to check that, go into that same directory and you're going to go down to T for TextGen. Right here, TextGen output, right? You'll see there's nothing in here. That's going to change. Okay. So that looks good. Everything's BC7. A lot of texture size of 512. I keep that default. To use less VRAM, set to 128. Default texture is 256. I like 512. You can go higher. I don't necessarily recommend it. It's personal preference. Hit start. It's going to do its thing. I think while it's doing its thing, we can close out some of these. We don't need these anymore. I will quickly go over. We'll go to the Yash guide. Yash guide seems to have the best way to set up the LODs. And I know if Rooster's still here, this is what he follows. This is what I started following. So right here, right at the almost at the bottom. Now I'm only running two. I'm running just TextGen and Dynalad. Xlod Gen and Terrain Tamriel ESM I'm not using. So this is your prep Dynalad installation. It shows you how to do it. It goes step by step, literally everything here. Ultra Tree is optional if you have, obviously. And then TextGen itself, which is what we're running right here, right? It's going to run. You're going to click exit. Same thing for Dynalad. Dynalad's going to bring you up. We'll do that one in a second. I'll leave this up just in case. And you can see it's working. It's doing its thing. So these usually take a couple minutes to do. They're not nearly as long as the patcher. People run into issues with the patcher itself with allocated memory. I think that's the proper term for it. On the 64-bit Skyrim SE, it will default to 2048 for the memory. You have to actually revert it to 32, which is 1024, which is 1 megabyte. So in your arguments tab in executables, you'd have to paste in a tiny little line of text. That's all you have to do for that. So it's pretty easy, but if you've never done it before, it can seem overwhelming. I know the first time I did it, like Dynalad completely, intimidated me in the beginning. I was using SSC Loggen because it was basically a one-step press and click, and your LODs look good, but not nearly as good as this doing it this way with Dynalad. And again, it also depends on what you have running. You may not care about distant terrain, architecture, trees, things like that. That may not be a priority, but you want it to look a little bit better, better than vanilla does. So something like SSC Loggen would be perfectly fine. I used it for a while myself. Anybody who's just starting out, I'd probably still recommend that to them, just as to not overwhelm them. But if they did have an interest to start on that and then eventually move to Dynalad. I forgot how many minutes this one takes. I think it's like 4 or 6 or something like that. It's at this point where I wish I kind of had some background music playing or something like that. But I don't, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, almost 4 minutes. We're done. So just hit exit. It's gonna close itself. You're gonna get the message up top again. Oh no, you're not. I'm sorry. The hell am I talking about? All right. So text gen output right here. You'll see you got the lightning bolt with the plus sign, but you'll see the red X's there. This is right. All you're gonna do is just come back and refresh that. That's all you're gonna do. The red X will disappear. You now have your text gen output looking good. You can click on it to see conflicts. Uh, Basically just that it's using Dynalad resources and anything else that may have a texture LUD. I know Skyland includes a few. Winterhold, rustic windows, etc. This is perfectly fine. We're gonna do the same thing with Dynalad. Actually, before, if you want to double check, I know I closed this down. Go back to your virtual folder, app data, local, mod organizer, Skyrim, mods. Go down to T for text gen. It's here somewhere. Text gen output, right? This one. Now you'll see we have our textures in here. And everything, including the LUD. There's everything, right? Landscape, architecture, and you got all the categories. Everything's in there, right? Text gen output. It's exactly what we wanted. I just had to check it to make sure you did it right. Usually when that little X goes away, you don't have to worry about it. If you're curious, that's how you check it. Dynalad output, you're going to do the same thing with that. Select it and run. Now you're going to get two screens here. The first one you could skip, you're going to go to advance. You're going to select it yourself. You could do it from here. Hit advance though. Leave everything blank. Make sure your output path is right though. I always double check that, but hit advance. It'll bring up another screen for you. So here's everything. So here's all your cells, all your world space, right? Tamriel, Sovngarde, Skulldafn, Pilpass, etc. Blah blah blah. Blackreach. Okay. Right click, select all of them. Right? I select high here. You want to go right from here, right to here. Pick one of these. I select high. Right? You can see it's working here. It's working in the background. Make sure candles is checked. Effects glow is checked. Make sure your output path and your data path are also correct. I mean, it's going to be the same thing here. Dynalad output, it's going to be in the same folder that we just checked, right? I did close that out. Damn it. Okay. I should probably just keep this open. We'll go to D for Dynalad. So you have your resources. Output should be right above it. You'll notice there's, again, nothing in here. We'll keep it on mods. I'll minimize it this time. So candles gets checked, effects glow gets checked. I have yet to mess with anything in here. A, because I don't have enough time. B, because I'm kind of afraid to mess something up. Although I'm sure there's guides for it. Or people that have done it before have their own preferences. I find that just running it like it is enough for me. Certain options I did tweak. Make sure these are checked. You want Windows, High, and Fake Lights Child Worlds. This is also according to the Ash guide. Near grids to load 11, far 21. Brightness defaults to 0. I have it set to -2. This is ENB presets require different brightness of distant trees for better look. Negative, darker brightness. Okay, so I went -2. When I first did it, John Rose suggested -3, and then I did it once with 0, and I came to the conclusion -2 is right where I personally wanted it, so that's where I left it. Then just hit OK. Dynalad's going to do its thing. Same thing like TextGen just did. This one just takes a little bit longer to do. It just works in the background. Sometimes you can't even read half the shit that it's doing. It just goes so quickly. Other times it goes like this. I guess it depends on where in the world space it's actually like, processing for or and then you're going to have the same message down the bottom. If you look on the lower left hand side, how it's got the X there, Dynaline output's going to have that same the lightning bolt icon with the plus, but you're still going to have the red X. You just do the same thing. You go up and you hit refresh. And that's really the last thing for a setup. Um, I usually before I get in game, I'll hit loot. I won't sort it, but I'll hit loot to see if there's anything that I may have missed or anything that's changed. Um, Usually by this point, I already know it's fine. I know I can pretty much go right in game and I'll be good. Um, Now I have the character preset saved, but I don't have him set up. So we're gonna go right from getting his preset loaded, which I actually haven't done yet. So it's gonna be the first time for me loading that up, um, to getting his starting spells and um, I don't think I had anything in his inventory. We when I was doing it this afternoon, because I was using a whole different setup. Like I said, I was using different landscape mesh with different trees, and like I said, there were certain parts of it that looked really fantastic, but the like moderate to far terrain, just the textures themselves, like on the mountains, and it's only with certain mods that I notice it. It just doesn't look as good. Now, when I had this similar setup when I did uh, the Dwemer race character from the other day, from like early yesterday and the day before, it looked great. It looked perfectly fine. I also had a different tree set up too. I was running EVT. Yesterday and early this morning, I was running, and even this afternoon, um, I had Matthews loaded up. Now Matthews normally looks really good, but I think it's because I didn't use Matthews landscape the first time when I had my vampire character. Um, it was Skyrim Realistic Overhaul with Noble, and I didn't have a dedicated landscape for it. Um, just Matthew's 3D trees and plants. So the plant life looks good, the grass looked good, so that was okay. But like the actual landscape, no, it was a little bit different. Now we're going over to Skyland again, but I was running a different weather and E and B combo. So now I swapped back to Cathedral Weathers and Semi-Realist CMB. I was running NAT for my weather and lighting, having it overwritten by ELFX for interiors, because NAT does have interior lighting that you could turn on and off, um, and re-engaged EMB. So the weather in EMB looked fantastic, with the exception of certain parts around Markarth. And I don't know if it was because of the particular race and the skin tone that I gave him, along with face light. I think face light had a lot to do with it, because we gave him like a purple brownish type skin for a Dwemer. Because I mean, it was I did like, I don't know, I think it was like a half hour's worth of character creation the other day with that character. Yeah, but his skin wound up being like a purplish color, which I actually liked. The character himself looked really good. It's just with face light on, he kind of a no bueno there. So. But Dyndalon's the longer of the two. Um, like I said, it should be the last thing. The only other thing I really look for is um, if I've missed anything. And this is All right, sorry. If I've missed anything, in particular in the left pane, I usually just kind of glance over it. I just want to make sure that I didn't forget a texture mod, or, I mean, patches would have been done. I would have got an error, before and during running the patcher with this particular setup. Um, so I know that's okay. So that's why I said like running loot pretty much is null and void at this point. You could still do it, just don't sort with it, okay? Because it's gonna throw all your shit out of whack. Like if you go through all this trouble like I do to hand place every mod in both panes, you don't want anything messing it up. Like they're there for a reason. Um, if you can't be asked to do it, absolutely, yeah, go hit sort, let it sort. Mod Organizer does a pretty good job of sorting, but when you get into really custom things, it sometimes doesn't. And then it's not that it causes issues with your game. Um, it can, but like you may have something that needs to be in a certain place in your right pane, and it MO2 is thinking, oh well, it needs to be higher up or it needs to be lower than it really should. So that's why I go off guides. That's why I go off, like my own load order. We did it when we were on console. Like you had to hand place mods. That's the whole purpose of like Xbox and the load order templates that are available. Real work starting now. See that? Yeah, 6.5 minutes and the real work starts. The fun stuff. Whatever it's doing, it's that's the fun stuff. But it should look good. I'm curious to see these stone walls that Rooster suggested. Um, Even being an old rim mod, should look good. I know John's stuff is quality. It's going to be interesting to see how this overwrites it. We're getting to the end here. Once it starts, uh, the references, the add references to Dynalot, you're getting towards the end. And the bigger your setup is, the longer again this is going to take. I've had setups where I've just tipped the scale at about 220 mods, and I'll be done in like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Um, and even some of my larger setups didn't take this long. Um, I think it's in particular with what's going on. The Skyland series tends to, I think they add, uh, I don't want to say heavier textures because it's probably the wrong word, but it's the right word in my head to kind of describe how it looks. They're very distinct. Um, I don't know if that has anything to do with like the processing that goes on when generating these. You're using basic, DDS files and everything like that, but it just seems like when I stick with like something like noble or like a lighter texture overall, it takes a little less time. But this is about we're right on schedule here with this. It should be done less than 10 minutes. I don't think I have anything else. We did Finis, text gen Dynalot's going. The patcher's already done. Yeah, I'll look up and down my left pane real quick and just make sure everything's there. That's the main thing. Might be longer than 10 minutes at this point. Usually not that bad. I still have to try that what's that mod called? All Good all geared up. The one that's supposed to replace visible favorited gear. That's one that I have to get into and try. This looks like the requirements for it. Like there's a lot of different requirements that it needs. But apparently you could put like two great swords on your back with the shield, with the cape, with the backpack, with like axes at your side, daggers on your hip or your boot, um, staffs or staves or however you say it. Those are also on your back or like off to the side of the back. Um, it's got spots for everything from what I've seen. I could actually see like survival characters using something like that. They carry the backpack, they have like a heavy cloak, whatever type of like armor or robes they're wearing, um, weapons. Mage characters, I would assume, would have like a cloak or like a staff hanging off the back. I think that's something everybody was asking for on console. They wanted like a real staff on the back with the animation. I'm not sure if it's doable for for console. It might be. I know the shield one was tried, but it's still buggy. Even the sword on back animation that's up there, like it's called WOB weapons on back. That's still a little bit buggy for the console crowd. Um, I used to use it. I tried it, and it was like you'd go through 20 hours of playing, and then it would just bug out on you, and then trying to like load your last save. If you weren't really paying attention to your saves, you'd be like, nah, you'd fuck yourself over. So this is going longer than I thought now. Almost 12 and a half. And I hear Discord going off in the background. All right, building, building. Come on. To put up for people not to tag me because I know that's what's going to happen. Parts of Markarth I didn't get a chance to show you guys earlier this afternoon. This is part of the temple that Sword put a picture up of. A couple of them actually. Did a really good job. The lighting in here looks great from what I've seen. Close that down. It's still going? Still going. Sometimes I do this just to check it. Yep. Almost 15-minute mark. Let's close that down. Oh, come on, pop back up. There we go. If I wasn't running TPOS2, I believe this would go a lot faster too. Not that it has lots with it, but you're generating the architecture for the distance as well, and that does add a lot. All right, so 1441, just shy of 15 minutes to finish that. Save and exit. Bam. It's gonna do the same thing that TextGen did, right? You get the little lightning bolt with the plus with your X. Just refresh MO2. Okay, you should now be good to go. Do the same thing. There's your Dynalot output, right? And double check. There you go. Meshes, SKSE, textures. There's your ESM, your ESP. Okay. I could actually close this out. I don't need this. The bottom of your right pane, you have Dynalot ESM and Dynalot ESP. Activate both of them in that order. Throw the ESM all the way up top, just like that. Flick it up there. And also make sure it's the lowest of your ESMs. It never is. It always goes like one or two higher. So my masters are okay. Dynalot ESM is the lowest master it needs to be. Your ESP is at the bottom, even under patches. Okay, these two are pretty much irrelevant. This is patching. This isn't patching the game's terrain or anything like that. But Dynalot needs to be at the bottom. Patcher would be at the bottom if you weren't running a LOD setup. So I'm just going to go back over real quick and just double check everything. Sorry, mainly for like textures, but I want to double check everything else. So I added Dear Diary back in. I know this was asked. I was running a SkyUI icon replacer by Elsopa, which I loved. It was a nice multicolored icon setup. I missed Dear Diary. Dear Diary had an update. I added it back in. Had to. I almost can't play without this mod either. And you see it. It's overwriting Moorhide Inventory Edition. Well, it's not that I don't need it, but it's certain things being overwritten. Floating damage I can't play without anymore, no matter the character. It's a fantastic mod. Let's just see. What else do we have? We have other. What else is new? Music, loading screen, audio. Fantasy Soundtrack Project is my music replacer and combat replacer. I love this mod. It is absolutely beautiful. So we have SMIM, Blended Roads, Skyland Landscape right here, being overwritten by ELFX, by his Granite Mountains, the Moss Dirt Pile in Nordic Ruins, designs of the Nords for the banners for the Dark Brotherhood doors, Astral Aspect, which should be the only other thing. It is. Okay. We're also going to keep Matthew's his textures for like the ruins, caves, mines, miscellaneous, some of the clutter stuff. The chests, obviously, these are good. And an Ari Snow Elf ruins retextures is fantastic. Yeah, Astral Aspect, I'm going to keep that in there for now. I do like the mod. We'll see how it meshes with John's. I didn't have it in before, but we really didn't get to a standing stone either, so that'll be something to check out. Quests, we have Legacy of the Dragonborn, Undeath, this is the major quest for this character, Forgotten City, Project AHO, Moon and Star, The Enemy My Enemy, and Become the High King of Skyrim. So this is the new edition. Now this is a semi-broken mod that you will hear people complain there's no voice acting, anything like that. Not in the beginning, and it's not meant to be. You could use I think it's called Fusro Da to get their mouths to sync with the text on the screen, but keep your subtitles on. Ordinator is not being used, obviously, so the perk stuff that goes along with it. We are using Andromeda and Winter Sun. Everything else is probably fine. Yeah. Mountains are John's, Granite. Cathedral, Wet and Cold. We swapped to Realistic Needs and Diseases, so that's going to be interesting to see how that mod plays out. And then our city overhauls. They all look right. Markarth and Riften. I should probably put, well, it's not going to matter. It's only being overwritten, but yeah, the Ancient Dwarven Meadow. Okay. Yeah, everything should be pretty good. Do one last loot check. That's pretty much it, and then we'll get right in game after this. This should be good. I'm going to get one error. and it's for the Summer Mist immersive jewelry needing a patch, which there's a patch available, but I don't think one of them recognizes it. So the error always stays there. It doesn't affect anything. You don't crash, nothing like that. So if you see it and you are running those two, it's fine. I'm good to go. Nothing in my overwrite. Yeah, we're good. SKSE, where are you? Right there. We're gonna minimize this for now, so I can make sure everything else is off the screen. Good. We'll run that. I'm gonna switch OBS back over to game capture. It's gonna go dark for you guys for a second, and we'll get in game. This is also first time loading up with the different setup. After you run something like Dying and you throw a new EMB in there, it takes a little bit the first time, so just make sure it's still working. Skyrim's not responding. Awesome. There it goes. Okay. It always hangs up on me for a minute there. That looks pretty good. So I kept the main menu from before. You're going to notice things different. Dear Diary changes a lot to your user interface. It's going to look completely different. Now, this is going to be a brand new game. But like I said, I'm going to try to load that preset that I saved up. Otherwise, I could just recreate them again. So it's not that big a deal. Game music sounds like it's okay. New game, yes. Now, I've not loaded a preset that I've created, like a self-created mod, so let me just control that to be darker. Presets. F9 should be load preset. It's going to be this one. There he is. Yep. Bringing the old character back. Okay. That was quickest character creation ever. Modded. Save presets are beautiful. Always take the torch. You always need them. We'll let the oh, we got the sugar ball. That's right. Realistic Needs and Diseases gives you that sugar ball, so you don't immediately starve leaving here. So we're gonna let mods load up, MCM go. We'll do the character setup and maybe a couple quests. We'll have to see. I do have to set up the MCM though, unfortunately, again. Since I don't have any saves for that, since I had to do a full restart, but should be fine. We grab something to drink while the rest of those are loading up. I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, everything's up. Should be good. Most sane people don't use this many mods, but alright, MCM. So you already noticed the UI looks completely different. And I'm still on the old version because I didn't update it yet. I heard there's still issues with the new version of the game, and not all of the SKSE plugins updated yet. So I am reluctant to update my game in Steam. So we'll wait. Wait till everything's nice and sorted. Not a problem. Matter of time. General. Yes and yes. Alright, so we're going to be running Apocalypse spells. I have Extensible Follower Framework for vanilla type followers. I don't have any of my own created vanilla followers in here, aside from the ones that I gave to Nesbit to use as references for Morthal Ages. So we may use them, but I do have to deactivate the stealth invisibility. Every time I go into stealth, they disappear. It's very annoying. It makes the muffle cast sound, which is only acceptable when I do it, not my followers. So we need to swap that. We're using Warlock magic here, death magic. So we'll track them when we get them. I'm going to set them up. We're also going to be using, what else? Let me check the settings. Experience multiplier. I want that to stay the same. Spellbook drop chance. These are usually pretty good. Alright, we'll leave them alone. Just, I want to show a message on Soul Trapped. I like that. Harvest overhaul redone. This one I haven't checked before. Main settings. Drop rates default. Okay. That should be fine. iHUD. I love iHUD. Will not play the game without iHUD. Key toggle presses and link all SkyUI widgets. For those of you who have seen me do this before, I apologize. But it needs to be done. Oh, god damn you. Come on. Okay. So that's all set up. Good. Oh. No more UI. Hit X. There you go. Everything's up. Beautiful. Back in. We'll set up Organized Bandits after I actually get out of the dungeon. I don't want to start with them because it sometimes crashes your game, especially from the location I'm starting in. Realistic needs. Let's just check. So we're gonna set. Like I said, I haven't used this in a while. So gluttony is 0, satiated is 5, peckish 30, hungry 60. I'm gonna have to play with this. I'm gonna descale these down just a bit because I don't know the rates offhand. In fact, I might go down to 3, 4, 2. Die of thirst? No, I don't want to die of thirst. Well, after 48 hours, that would make sense, I guess. Check needs is N. Okay. Drink from stream is B. That's awesome. I don't have anything hotkeyed to that. Reminder intervals, message notification. Okay. Sound notification. Yeah, I want the message too. Okay. Alcohol and disease. I'm gonna leave these default. We'll figure this out in game. Food spoilage. I kind of want the food to spoil. That would, for now. But I don't want it to remove spoiled food. Oh, this option allows player to throw away. Oh, it's automatically. Okay, we'll leave that off. And then toggles. Alternate drunk visuals. Shives cure disease. Remove camping gear. Or we're not going to be a vampire. Yeah, let's use the first person message. If enabled, the recipes will only show up when you have at least. No. I like to be able to see them to know what I need. To milk cows to obtain milk. I'm not going to be milking cows, but we do have John's Highland cows. I want to milk John's Highland cow. I'm going to select that. I'm going to do it for the hell of it. And then I'll take a screenshot and send it to him. Okay. We didn't actually activate it yet. We just configured it. I may have to do that again. I don't know. Um, everything else should be good. Trade and barter is the only other thing I tweaked, just with the merchant inventory. I like my market vendors to have a little more gold, 100. The innkeeper should have 150. Apothecary should have 750. Spell merchant should have 1,000. These guys will have 750. Town blacksmiths will also have 750. They'll have 1250. They'll have 1250. Or 1,000, sorry. Alright. I think 2 more to go. Violence. Yes. Last enemy. Daggers are slit. Wet and cold. Add to the level list. Should be good. Ashes and survival. Followers. Okay, that should be good. Apologize about the long setup. I think we decided that the style for the dagger, because of the robes I'm wearing, it's best to have it on his back hip. We're also going to make NPCs have it on their back. Swords for me will stay default because I'm not using any, but swords for NPCs will go on their back. One-handed swords. I usually leave everything else alone. For styles here. And then just finish is the last thing I have to do. That's usually pretty easy. You're selecting this one, this one, this one, and refresh. Alright, so I should have my a good jump animation. Alright, after all that, we save over everything. And we begin our new life as a necromancer.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin.
In a secret location.
Beware the forces of the undead, necromancer.
Alright. Well, I like the forces of the undead. Lady Mara. So, we're not going to set up, let's see how John's text. See, John's stuff brightens it up a lot, which I kind of like. I look pissed already. Let's do the usual. Let's grab up all the alchemy. We will be doing some alchemy. We'll make use of as much in here as we can. Make sure to grab the briar heart. Okay. Alright. So we have to search the knapsack. That's gonna... Ooh, okay. Nice one. Potions. Tomato. That's right, I am going to need the food this time, so I might be able to cook something. Two of these bad boys, huh? Or a calcum circlet. Nice. Good to sell. Ancient Dwarven Sword. Arming Sword. So this is what the Patcher and Percus Maximus does. It adjusts the values for your damage and weight and value of the weapon. Right, this is a one-handed sword that is now considered an arming sword. You'll see different things for like bows, for your armors, like your heavy, your light, robes, etc. think my headset needs to be plugged in. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Alright, should be better now. So yeah, you'll see stuff like that. It's actually a pretty cool model. Anyway, yeah, they'll say like stuff like arming. Gold has weight now. Like you'll see, my carry weight is 48 of 325. I'm only gonna take the gold. It weighs 0.01. Alright, necklace of my dexterity pickpocket. Don't need that. I will take, hey, we got a card already, a fate card. These are grouped into decks of 13 cards of the same type when you possess at least one of each card of the type, and use any of the cards from that set in your inventory. One of each card of that set will combine to form a deck which will provide special powers, skills, and abilities while it is carried in your inventory. And we'll take that arming sword, I like that. What else? We'll take that. There's always boots of increased capacity, hauling, or whatever they call it. They're always here. Now we have Raise Animal, Spell Ward, take the Tome. I'm going to take the Clothes. The Jewel de Rumere will be in here if you're running Legacy. Stamina recovers 25% faster. I may actually wear that. Let me see. I didn't start with anything else, so I'll put the Necklace of Dexterity and the Jewel de Rumere on. For now, we're going to be getting different stuff. I'm still looking pissed. Alright, so what do we have? We have the sword. My dagger does 15. Base dagger. So that's not bad. We're only going to be using daggers. Let's learn Raise Animal and Spell Word. And we'll hotkey torches. Any torches I find, I'll be taking them. Now to set him up, he's got Robes of Conjuration. Conjuration is going to be a focus, but it's not going to be his focus. Well, it's going to be one of them. So we want Robes of Destruction to start off with. They're going to be identical, the identical look, just for his destruction spells. So we want 00107B01. Can that really? Doesn't like me. 00107B0-1. Okay. Can't tell if that's almost looks like it's missing, or it's supposed to be tattered. I don't know. We'll go with it, whatever. So these actually have an enchantment on them. It's just for destruction spells, same thing. They look identical. Get all of his spells set up, and then we'll be good to go, I think. We don't have a healing spell yet. Um, Usually it doesn't give me an option here when I try to go in. It may just add the spell healing, but you can see there's a couple different references. I always try to get the book. Spell tome. I could use wild healing. I could use fast healing. Because we don't start off with healing. We'll leave it as is. I'll leave it as it is right now. Couple more things I have to do. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's the problem about setups sometimes. It could take just a little bit, but we just want basic harvest here, which is and then just to check out what we have for him. Bone Master is the other one. Just the first one. Okay. I should have the first level here. Studies Novice Conjuration. It says weak flame atronach added. Alright. Nope, it's added in. Okay. That's the damnedest thing. Never seen that before. Let's check the books. So we got... We did get a weak flame atronach. Okay. We're not going to use spell word, but that's okay. So, dagger. Let's see. 1. We'll keep Deathly Paw off. That should be everything. Let's make another hard save. Right over his field lab. Okay. So that looks good. Okay. Just make sure. Alright, so the animation's working now too. Okay. And we also have the, we still have the runes. So, make use of them. Last thing to do is set up Okado's recital, and that should be it. Should be good to go. So I have the magic to cast it, I just don't feel like waiting. Simple as that. And then Deathly Paul would be the second. Do a quick save. We'll try and sneak out of here. Sometimes this sphere could be quite a pain in the ass. We'll give it a go. We're only on expert difficulty now, so he's either gonna immediately kill me. Oh, okay. What happened to Xerxes? He should be one that I can take. Well, I'm obviously going to break the law. Damn. Take none. Alright, I'll take Kinnereth for right now. Because my race is a Nord. And I just messed that whole thing up. Because I'm supposed to be a Breton. How about that shit? Yep. I wonder if I could change my race. Because I don't feel like going through character creation like that again. How about this? Give me 1 second. Let me just close this down. Well, we'll keep the game open. I'm going to see how I could change race mid-game. Okay. Should be show race menu. Try it again. Since I haven't navigated through here before, I have no idea. Kinda wish I wasn't in the middle of combat doing this. Okay. That should be it. Yep, we're a Breton now. Okay, so I'll just get the blessing elsewhere. That's gonna make things a lot easier. Whew, that was a close call there. Let's GTFO. We can hear him on that side. Just wondering where the sphere is. Let's see where he's at. He should be over here somewhere. Probably toggle God mode off. That would help, right? He was coming for me. Alright. Should be good. Although the last time I opened this cage up, there was a nice troll that was waiting for me. Anything here? No? We're good? Okay. Oh, there is. There he is. Yeah, I'm running away. You get him. You fight him. I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. Alright. Virtual pelt. Well, I lost my preset too. Let's try that again. Okay. I mean, he doesn't look that bad as a Breton like that. It's just the clipping. And he looks better than the one that I had. Let me try this. Let me get out of here. Go to presets. F9 is load. Okay. Alright, he looks better now. Alright, second crisis averted. I don't think lightning will strike 3 times in a row. Yeah, it definitely looks better. With EVT. The water is going to even itself out. If you notice that it's like that right now, you can kind of just ignore that. That happens. Especially right in the beginning. That'll all go back to normal. Let's see. We should probably get the sugar ball going, right? Sugar ball. Sweet sugar ball. Tastes very refreshing. If you use Skyrim, use MCM to start this mod. Okay. Basic needs. So I think I already set everything, right? And the MCM, yeah, main menu. Slow fatigue rate by 0, reminder. I'll do it every 10 minutes, I guess. Okay, sugar ball added. We're good. We'll see the message up there. Now, because of TPOS2, there's going to be elven flesh. Nice. I could always use gloves. So long bow is a long bow. There's also a short bow. Nice. Arrows aren't worth much. Oh, I need my backpack. Of course I do. Just like that. Nice. Yeah, looks pretty good. Where is your... There it is. Okay. Peddler, or who's this?
I thought I was a goner just now. Thanks for the help, and if you need any supplies, I have a few to sell. Take a look.
He's got 1 gold. Any luck picks? You do. And a soul gem. Could also have this and this. And you could have that. Okay, we're good to go.
Good day.
I'm gonna steal your horse. Let's F5 it really quick. We pretty much averted 3 crises. I'm gonna need him. Away. You're gonna be dead in a second too, I can feel it. Just take them all from them. Generate health when weakened. Yeah, we'll take RK for now. Just for the blessing here. So pickpocketing, lockpicking. I have the feeling there's more of them. Oh, we're not going this way. Yeah, it definitely feels better with the trees like this. The landscape and everything. I just gotta figure out the water. I don't know if that's because realistic water 2 could just be this area. Yeah, definitely something going on. Yeah, I mean, you could see the water, like that's not supposed to be like that. Wonder if my reinstallation of realistic water 2, because that's usually what causes those seams. That's not good. I mean, they'll go away when I get closer, but that's annoying. The rest of the lots look great. Trees look good. Let's check the map, see if the map's changed any. Nope. I had a really sweet map the other day with the same setup. And now it's completely vanilla. And you can see John's new flower mods could bloom. And then when you pick them, they actually stay, which is nice. I like that. People are like, oh, maybe you'll get confused because you don't know which ones you're picking up. Well, if you're picking up flowers that close, you should pretty much know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a hard save here. Make a new save. I'm going to quit out of here because I want to go check my load order really quick before I jump back into this. I may have something overwriting, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me just get OBS opened up here. Should take a second for you guys. And let's see. Good. Let's check my water. Check the bottom here. So we have patches, quality world map. Because your map mod is supposed to be underneath Dindalad. Realistic water 2 is overriding. I wonder if it's switching the weather. I wonder if that's what did it. Because we did have a different weather and EMB setup. I wonder if I go back to NAT, if that's going to affect too much or not. I don't know, Rooster, you still in the stream, bud? Think it'd be safe for me to switch back to NAT. I know I could swap my EMB. Instead of using cathedral weathers. That's the darndest thing. What else did I change? Nothing else really got changed. Let's see what I have in my downloads. I need wouldn't do it. These weren't even in it. These are from today. The only other one I have is Granite Hill, and I have Legendary Cities. That wouldn't affect it. The mines wouldn't affect it. The ground cover wasn't in. I had Skyland, which I do today. Yeah. Only other thing I can think is my weather. That's about it. Freaking finicky. That's what it is. I don't know. Let's go back up. Let's open that up. GeForce game. Driver not available. I mean, we could try it and see. Um, Worst case is I'll just leave these here, but I'll leave them disabled, and I'll just revert back. We'll have to see. Okay, let me see. I should have an AT down here somewhere. No, I guess I don't. Okay. So obviously, normally I don't recommend ever swapping. Let me just make sure E and B itself didn't update. I don't think it did between yesterday and today. E and B dev. Sorry, wrong one. This one. Subtle Companion, E and B, for those who could spare. School log. Requires just this one. Yep, download it again. Place at 136. Which broke the patcher. Can't do it. Okay. Can't switch weathers. Thought so. Alright, remove. Alright, we're still good. I don't know. We'll have to see how bad those water seams are when we come upon some more. I mean, if they're really, really bad, I'm going to have to uninstall Realistic Water 2 completely and then just start it over, which means tomorrow. Pain in the ass. But, I mean, that's when they're bad like that, they're bad like that. There's nothing else I can do. Rerun the patcher, redo the LODs. Okay, game should be coming back on for you guys in a second here. This is from here. What was the other one? This is the Markarth save. Could probably delete all this stuff here. I don't need it. It's a whole different setup. Let's go over to Windhelm. Just double check on our way there. But the water looks the way that it's supposed to, and then underneath, yeah. So it's just the distance stuff. Yep, right there. You can see them popping in like that. Yeah, you can see the whole thing right here. I wonder because I don't have the landscape fix. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yep. Or that could be a conflict, but I had the landscape fix in the first time and I didn't this time. Damn you, realistic water 2. Fucking up my mojo, look at that. That's pretty bad. Yep, not playing like that. Sorry. Alright guys, that's probably it then. I gotta fix it. Thanks for joining me. I may restart it. When I do, it just means I have to reinstall a couple mods. I do unfortunately have to rerun that patcher and redo my lots all over again. So the question is, do I take Realistic Water 2 out completely or what? So I usually play with it. I'm honestly thinking of playing without it, just using something that textures the water, like smooth water, you know, because it seems like the more... Oh, he wants to fight. There, you can have that. Yeah, it seems like the more that I mess with the water, like water's been the bane of my existence, so that's pretty bad. He's gonna drop down dead. Okay. Alright, yeah, so that's about it. I'll try and sort it out. Get it figured out. If I decide to start it up tonight, I will. If I don't, I don't. So everything else looks great. Skyline looks fantastic. There's no denying that. Cathedral looks good. Everything else is doing what it's supposed to, aside from the water. So that's the last thing to figure out. Realistic Water 2 or no Realistic Water 2? Where else is there seams? Let's take a look. Yeah, see, I can see it right there. It's gonna be over here too. Probably when we get down closer to down to Windhelm. Let's check right here. There's shadows, those are normal. Let's see. I don't know. 59 FPS though. We're running good, but water's just not agreeing with me.
Out with it. Another quiet day. All right then.
Oh yeah, the Temple of Talus is in there now. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna quick save there. Alright, I'm gonna try and fix it. I might come back, I might not. I appreciate you guys for joining me today. Apologies about the water. We'll try to fix the water and then hopefully get it back. Other than that, everything else is working. So I will see you soon. Have a good one.